What I gwan, peeps, what I gwan. It's Valerie's Naturals Oracles. And if you are here, you're for the tarot card interpretation. And we're at number 11 today. We're on the Justice card. Before I get deep into that though, are you subscribed yet? Why not? Hit the subscribe button, the alert bell, so you know when I'm going to do another video. Because I am going through the whole of the tarot deck. And I'm on number 11, which is near really week 12 because the full card is 0. But I say that every week and I forget I say that. But anyway, let's get on with the Justice card. What do I think of the Justice card? I should say first of all, I like to start with my interpretation of the Justice card. Look at some other cards from different decks to see the differences in the Justice cards and what intuition and links and stuff that come out of it. And then I read a textbook version of what just a general thing about the Justice card. And just to let you know, I do an absolutely free worksheet that goes with this, with just a general and introduction. But I do an extended one on my Patreon. Just for my patrons, they get it free. They get the whole gamut. You know, what the general information is, what the work situation is that belongs to the card, the love, the family, the finances, and the spirituality meaning of the same card and all the reversals that go with it. So if you're interested, the link will be in my description box. So let's get on with this. So what's my interpretation of this card? When I look at this card, immediately I see the law, I see karma, I see cause and effect, this is what I see. When I see the Justice card pop up, it's about cause and effect. It's about things that maybe can become unequal. But similarly, when I see this card as well, depending on the spread, especially if it's somebody asking a question about the law, it's a favourable card. And this card comes out, it's a favourable card. And this is what I see with it. But sometimes it is about karma and the scales of justice, balancing themselves out. If someone did you wrong and it's really justified, then they will get their karma. It will be balanced out. And this is what this card is all about. That's what it is for me. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you some other interpretations of this card. They're all Rider-Waite, by the way, because this is the Rider-Waite version and the Rider-Waite system. I don't know if you know there's other systems out there, but there's a Throff system that I'm not really into because of the story behind it. If you don't know, go and look up the Throff and you'll know what I'm talking about then. But there's other systems. I think there's the Marcel, but I'm not going to go deep into that. But this is the Rider-Waite, and this is most of my cards are. So I'm going to show you some other ones, which might take your interest as well. I'm a free-for-all. I think sharing is caring. Sometimes you get tarot readers that don't like to share their cards, but I don't see a problem with it because it's like, a card is a card. Where I bought it, you buy it from there too. Do you know what I mean? Unless it's mine, of course, because I've got my own oracle cards, if you didn't know. But I'm not going to go into that now. If you want to go and look, I'm going to put a review on them. I reviewed my own cards, but I'm going to stop it now. Let's get on. So the first one I picked up I got this from the Lightseers Tarot. And look at this depiction of the spirit of the Justice card. It's like this person's mirroring themselves. Like, it's almost like two energies, isn't it? It's like that one is the darker one, though. Is that the cause and effect? This is what I'm getting from this. It's like the cause and effect thing, isn't it? This is the good side and this is the bad side. It's like your shadow self, isn't it? It's almost like you see what I mean? I could just look at these cards and just come up with a whole story for a whole hour. But this is a kind of a strange depiction compared to this one of the Justice card. But some of these get quite deep. So I'm going to go on to move on to the next one. And I'm just doing this off the fly. So this is on my desk and I've got sellotape and everything on my desk because I've been sending out cards. But anyway, I've got the Justice card here again, but it's with the Tarot of Dreams. And look at this depiction now. There's two people here, just like this one had two people. And why has this one only got one then? But just like the previous card, it's got two people. But do you see the yin and yang, the justice, the balance? Do you see that the one's painted in white and one's in purple? One's got the sword and one's got the scrolls. It's like the scales of justice, isn't it? There you go, the cause and effect. And then you got the like a depiction of the world down there. Do you know what I mean? What goes around comes around. This is what this card is about. Do you see? But do you know what of note here as well is that these two people, they've got shields on, they've got headgear on, but they're blinded. Is it that they're not biased? Is that what that's all about? That's an interesting concept, don't you think? But look at the yin and the yang there. The feminine, the masculine, the polar opposites. Do you know what I mean? You know, the sword and the scrolls. I could keep going. But I'm going to show you one more. And this is from the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And this is the depiction here. Now, do you know what? Yes, we've got the scales of justice again. But look at his face. It's almost like this is a true depiction of me, for me, of karma. It's almost like the balance, the scales out for karma. This is the true depiction. But like I said, this card is also about, you know, actual court cases. And when you see this card, it's usually in a favourable way. But I just think these cards are just fantastic. Look at the detail in this card. Someone's got their sword and their shield. Do you know what I mean? That bit there is like almost like depicting a sword, isn't it? But they've got their shield on. It's like they're guarded. It's like they're protected. But, you know, karma is karma. What goes around comes around. Cause and effect. For every action, there's a consequence. It's the same thing. Karma. Do you know what I mean? How many ways could I say karma? When I see this card, I always say, and if you've gone to any of my readers, come on, yam nambati. I love saying it to this card. This is one of my trademarks. But seriously, these cards are just beautiful. And it's just weird that this one is depicted this way. We've got the two pillars there, the justice. It's only hinting there. But like, for example, this one is for me a true depiction of it. With the yin and the yang, the scroll and the sword. It's like, you know, sometimes they say the pen is mightier than the sword, don't they? And it's certainly true in the scales of justice, isn't it? Especially in the law. So I could keep rambling, but I'm going to give you a textbook version of it now, just to give you an idea and see how close it is to my interpretation. But let's have a look. I'm going to get a book out now. So and it's just a short one, it won't be long, but it says here, justice is a very much a card of balance. Through more of the rational, logical kind, using the intellectual mind rather than the emotional self. A balanced mind will be required in order to come to a well-balanced decision that is fair and reasonable for all concerned. It can represent the legal ruling upon a matter falling in favour of the rightful side. Legal documents are implied, including marriage agreements. Justice usually has a beneficial outcome unless other cards indicate otherwise. Interesting interpretation. What do you make of that? Because from the interpretations I learned from it, it is about karma, it is about justice, it is about the legal system. Usually in your favour when this card comes out. But you know, looking at the picture, you can depict it. Like I always say, you know, you can go by the textbook version. But when you've got other cards laid next to it, it gives a completely different meaning altogether, doesn't it? So I'm going to love you and leave you right there. And I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget that you can actually get the leaflets absolutely free of charge. Just the general leaflet. The extended, you'd have to join Patreon for that, but it goes into great detail. I'm talking pages. I've even left lines for you to write your own experiences in there. So go and have a look at the worksheets and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave it there. So take care and Nam Myoho Renge Kyo.